SFJ 4x4 Studios presents
in my oversized four-wheel drive Jeeps.
a Jeep podcast starring industry experts.
Pure monosity. What? Say that again.
With mad scientist Scott Brown,
Use my drill press as a sort of lathe.
our host Neil Simpson,
If one light goes out, they all go out.
filled with shenanigans.
We are really professional with Jeeps.
This is I Speak Jeep.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever, however you are joining us in this most spooktacular episode
I don't know how
of I Speak Jeep.
I'm just sad he didn't put the goat at the end.
Oh, it would have been better if... I'll do it for you. There it is. My name is Neil with SFJ 4x4 in the Grandma's Couch studio, joined with, as usual,
Jeff Shermani.
in his favorite pumpkin orange signature
Spooky season.
spooky season hoodie from last year.
The producer
The producer.
and the maddest mad scientist, Scott Brown.
Thank you, sir, for that. And as a comment about Jeffrey's spooky season hoodie, you know that right now the merch is open for the Creepin' It Real seasonal shirt, which I really dig. I thought that was super fun. Thank you for
It's been really
everybody.
popular.
Incredibly popular. Orders been going out like crazy. We actually had to do a reorder of materials, and kudos to Savage for just hammer down on that with all the other things we have going on.
I honestly think that one's been more popular than this hoodie.
I agree. I think it's been one of the most popular merch drops recently. We will have a signature Christmas drop following Halloween. Now, I'm being absolutely transparent. We're skipping Thanksgiving this year, folks. So
Scott is very sad over
Very
there.
sad.
if you bought your Turjeepin,
Turducken.
no, the hoodie that you designed last year that
Yeah.
failed epically for all but 10 of you. And actually, we might actually have one or two of those graphics left.
Did we ever announce which of those two hoodies actually won?
I don't think I think we did. 'Cause
Why'd
there
you
was
just
no
kick me
question.
some more, Jeff?
There was no question.
It was, yeah.
You
Jeff,
just
why do you
said we
look like
have-
a 12-year-old? I mean, you got a 12-year-old with a 5 o'clock shadow at this point.
Halloween costume on Friday for a party. So we'll talk about that in the updates, I'm sure.
Well, and as usual, we do have a number of updates. So if you're interested in what's happening in our personal lives, twofold. One, hang on through the outro credits to kind of get updated on our weekend affairs. There were some major highs and some major lows, as I shared with the guys. If my life could become more chaotic, that is the path that I chose this weekend. Additionally, we will be talking today just briefly about the upcoming SEMA adventure.
Yes.
Before we play a game or an activity amongst each other and with and for our listeners. Is that correct?
Yeah, for Halloween
Outstanding.
edition.
Outstanding. Quick note, join us for the Christmas parade on Black Friday. Look for further details to come. And you can jump onto our personal social platforms, be it Instagram or Facebook, to get those updates in live time as well.
Well, we'll be sending out an email on that soon, too.
Yes, sir.
In the comments, we got Nathan saying good morning. He was first again. We got Robert Seaman saying morning SFJ. We got Roy Hill saying good morning. Jalga Jeeper saying good morning. Mudhorn Gladiator saying morning. And then we got Daddy Jeep saying good morning. Robert Seaman said down here at Myrtle Beach Jeep Jam. That sounds fun. A lot warmer weather, too, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. And then you got Jeannie saying good morning. What do I want for Christmas? A new motor. Just putting that out there if anyone wants to get me one.
She's looking for a Hemi, folks.
And then we got Billy Joe saying good morning and Bill McWilliams saying good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone. And as incredibly fun and interactive as it is for folks to jump on live, understand that the bulk of our listening audience is at a slightly later date in their ear holes all across the world. And if you are one of that select Jeep family who prioritizes the I Speak Jeep podcast as your infotainment, we thank you so very, very much.
Robert did say, nope, it's cold as can be for the beach.
Yeah, it's a tough time right now to be Atlantic Ocean front at the moment.
Yeah.
But we are looking for you to, go ahead and leave us a review on your favorite streaming platform. As you leave that review, screenshot it, send it over to contact, CONTACT at SFJ4x4. Periodically, we will read those, and then eventually we'll pick another winner for our swag pack giveaway. We really, really value and appreciate all of you who are doing that. Additionally, if you are one of our dedicated listeners at a later date, know that you can get on almost every Monday morning at 10:19 a.m. and join us in the live. Get on there, share comments with other Jeep enthusiasts, and get your shout out as well.
Charles is asking, how do I rate you all when I listen live on Facebook? Simple answer to that is that you just have to go to one of the streaming platforms, pull it up, and put in a rating on there.
Yep, that would be advantageous. But we do appreciate you, following along on Facebook, Charles. Thank you for that. I think that covers a good bit of our business. It is worth mentioning that next week, and so with the whole conversation about listening and whatnot, we are up in the air whether or not there will be a live podcast or any type of supplemental for you. We had attempted to do some pre-recorded interviews. Unfortunately, does not look like that will be kind of all done and said for next Monday. I personally, pending all things go well, will be in Las Vegas. And
if you're not in Las Vegas, you're lost somewhere in the U.S.
Yes. And that will be a much bigger deal than we could imagine. Yep. And I was like, well, maybe we can force something into existence. And the mad scientist, in his, per usual, his wisdom was like, hey, we're already making so many other things happen that shouldn't happen. Let's try and not put this additional pressure on. I'm like, yeah, but how cool would that be? I've certainly lived in from Charleston, South Carolina.
Then he did the math.
I mathed.
What time it actually would be.
I still don't actually know. It's either 3 or 4 hours prior to East Coast time. I'm pretty certain it's a 3-hour time zone.
Jugal, would you like to help?
Yeah, I was going to say. But so if that's 10:19, then I'm somewhere around 7:19 or 8:19, and the problem, well, definitely not 8:19. It's either 6 or 7:19, and the problem will be that I have no idea where I'm going to be.
It would be 7:19.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it's Las Vegas is 3 hours, despite the fact that I think it's 4 hours.
It feels like it when you fly there.
It does, and so ultimately, I was like, yeah, well, we could do that. But then I am going to be personally transporting. Those of you who followed long enough understand that we actually are a pretty close-knit group of enterprising individuals within SFJ 4x4. And when you need something done, you kind of have to do it yourself sometimes.
Yep.
And when it comes to transporting a vehicle, or now vehicles, thanks to Crown Automotive, RT Off-Road, we have to transport 2 vehicles, which are amazing builds representing the mad scientist and our lead performance mechanic, both kind of the performance division and our vintage resto. We got to get them across the country. And one of the last vehicles that came in on a subcontracted transporter
was less than stellar.
And we've had just, not that we've had any personal issues with transporters, but as a frustrated truck driver myself, I recognize how that industry, especially when you are kind of succumbing to the lowest common bidder, you're not always getting the most qualified individual to take these very high dollar vehicles from coast to coast.
So Tony jumped in the comments, said, when you get lost, you got to do a Find Me, Jose Monkey. But I think better than that is, even if you don't get lost, pick a difficult spot with a picture and see if Jose Monkey can find you.
So, I mean, so the reality is kind of quickly settling in that I will be running the International with our, 45, 50-foot wedge trailer across the country starting this week. And
What day you hitting the road?
I am at this time hitting the road on Thursday. And objectively, we mapped it out, and I will be taking the southern route.
Yep.
So as this podcast is airing, if there's anybody who is along that, I'll be hitting the archway, the gateway
Through St. Louis, yep.
through St. Louis, headed down through Oklahoma into Texas, New Mexico,
You'll
Arizona.
press through Amarillo there, and then
Yep.
Flagstaff. You'll be in Flagstaff. For a
Flagstaff.
moment.
I'll be going briefly through the Sedona Mountains. I think it was the.
Well, Sedona's a little south of Flagstaff. You're going northern. Yep.
Okay.
But still through Arizona.
Well, I just wondered what that mountain range is. That's what I thought was called the Sedona Mountains. Maybe somebody can correct us. I thought
might
I
be.
saw a little
You'll
thing.
know this time next week.
I will. I will. I'm
Charles, he'll be in Amarillo, just through that upper corner there, and then that's it.
And so we'll be trucking through. I've elected to take my 12-year-old on this trip with me, which has created
Another layer.
another layer of logistics. Fortunately for us, our public school system is awesome, is working with us. They're actually providing him Wi-Fi and a full universal router so that he actually will be attending school in the truck as we drive across the country.
You'll
and while
actually-
at SEMA,
Your mountain range is the San Francisco Peaks.
despite the fact that I'm in Flagstaff.
That's what the Google says. I don't know.
Whatever. All
Somebody from that area can chime in and
There
tell
you
us the
go.
correct
There you go.
information.
And so the goal, and I've certainly done some really dumb drives, but I'm trying not to make this one so dumb. But that puts me juggling a lot of balls at this moment. So
And Giaga Jeepers is give me the keys. I can only keep offering my services. He really wants to do this drive.
shoot,
We got Bob.
I would
Mike
love to, man. I would love to if it was not in a big rig with
Bob Mikan saying sunny and 70, Conneaut, Ohio.
no.
No,
No.
not even close. Kind of maybe a little sunny, but Daddy Jeep saying my kid just took that southern route in my Denali. It only caught on fire twice.
Oh.
With Neil's history of vehicles, it's
This
not
is another good
reassuring right
pep
now.
talk.
That's a bad pep talk, and that is not on my bingo card. So.
Charles says that you'll be 5 hours north of him.
Sorry, Charles. No detours for me on the way through.
Yeah.
I'm purposely avoiding the Rockies as you come out of the west side of Denver.
Through Denver, yeah.
Yeah, I'm purposely avoiding that. The International, if you are unfamiliar, which is a truck we've had since 21, and I love it dearly, but it does have its limitations. It is a 25-year-old truck running a electronic 466 International engine. It's got a couple little goodies and doodads on it, but with a 5-speed transmission, it does not like the mountains, not one bit. And Western Pennsylvania, and as you crest over to the East Coast, it struggles through, just the Appalachians. I want nothing to do with the Rockies in the International, at least on the way out there. I kind of want to tackle them on the way back through. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, of course you do.
Now I want you to go back through Arizona and pick me up some rust-free T parts.
I am factually running one spot open on the trailer.
Yeah.
I thought about taking the Mini Cooper.
Oh, God.
I thought about taking the Mini Cooper up on the deck of the trailer.
That way you have something to drive around.
That way we had a runabout when
Yeah.
we got into Las Vegas. I think I've since changed my mind, and if there is, the right vehicle on the way back through, whether it's a listener's got it, whether I find it on the side of the road, I will have a spot on the trailer that we could bring something back with us.
That'd be fun.
And God willing, we're trying to sell these Jeeps at SEMA. These customers are itching to build more with us. So, if somebody wants,
To make an offer.
to make an offer, we've got some numbers in mind, and those customers are ready to build something else. So kind of a cool opportunity. But
He said going through Amarillo, you'll be smelling cowboy money.
I'll take it. I will.
And I've got family in Amarillo, so we're gonna try to locate you a spot for rest.
That would be excellent. So we're trying to hit some stop points and make it not such a hard 14, 16-hour drive days, which, should be easier on myself and the truck, especially with the long week of SEMA. A lot of people think we're out there to kind of like, party and do this, that, and third. And unfortunately, anything that we've ever done out there over the last decade or so has been straight business.
Yeah.
You're covering a lot of territory. The show is so massive.
Straight business, and then we once throughout the trip we try to find something fun for eating at, and that's about it.
That's about it. And other than that, you're pretty tuckered out from trying to cover all the ground and meet with the people and do the things and see the stuff that makes us, I think, kind of uniquely us within the industry, kind of being a small but mighty and knowledgeable business where we're actually bringing that information back home to you all. So really use the event for what it was originally intended for.
And Billy Joe said she'd love to see some live footage from SEMA. Again, unfortunately for the podcast, you'll be way too early in the morning there, but maybe you could do a Tuesday live.
Yeah,
there
and
instead.
we used to. I used to do more lives there and some content, coverage and whatnot. So hopefully we'll be able to bring that.
And Tuesday's the first official day of SEMA, so
it is.
If you do a Tuesday update, that'd be really fun.
That would be very fun. So excellent stuff there. I think that reasonably kind of outlines for everyone what the expectations are. Again, huge shout out to Crown Automotive and RT Off-Road for sponsoring both hashtag Not a Restoration, the Swamp Donkey, and Johnny 5. Big thanks to them for making this opportunity possible and for getting behind and supplying parts for some really cool builds. Also for working really closely with the mad scientists and some research and development of product and ensuring that some of the best replacement and replica parts are sold under those lines, and they pass them sometimes through the mad scientist's hands to verify, vet, and kind of tweak or modify in the process. So been doing and expanding upon that partnership more and more recently.
Yep.
So thanks to them. Jeffrey has an activity for us prior to us doing our weekend update. And again, you're going to stay tuned for our personal lives.
So this is a Halloween edition of a build. We've done a Christmas version before. This time, we're going to ask the listeners to, at the end, weigh in with whose Jeep build and which driver do they want to stick with. So you're going to pick your favorite one of us to navigate you through the Jeepocalypse.
Jeepocalypse. Now, what's fun about this is that this is actually something prior to business, when Scott and I were just friends, something that we actually benchtop built frequently together. And I almost don't want us to go first.
You benchtop build Doomsday Jeeps?
We absolutely, unquestionably, we did.
That's awesome.
And unquestionably,
I had no idea
did.
picking this topic.
You started to kind of say it the other day. You teased it to me, and I thought, oh, this is, I think I was enthusiastic. I was like, yeah, Jeff, this is really cool. Expand upon it, blah, blah, blah. And I thought to myself, Scott and I have literally done this for fun, talking to each other before.
But here's the caveat: is not only is the build.
I understand. I understand
but the driver
rules.
too, and our listeners have to make that decision based on what they know about us.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So the rules for this one: there's no budget, there's no limits.
Yep.
Jeep era doesn't matter. Pretend it's a new Jeep. You found a surplus of new condition Jeeps, whatever you want to. Doesn't matter.
Sure.
The Jeep's new. You're starting fresh.
Sure.
All mods must exist on the market. No custom fabric cobbled defensive spikes off the front. But you can assume that all your mods will work together because you can make them all work together.
Sure.
Okay.
We understand. Like I said, we understand the assignment.
Well, I know Scott would be like, well, I can build this in my garage and I can build this. And
that's fair.
But no,
that's fair.
That's not an option.
That's fair.
All right.
I can appreciate
So we found the warehouse full of all the Jeep mods and all the Jeeps.
Yep.
What Jeep are you starting with and why?
You're actually going first.
Gladiator.
Okay.
I'm starting with the Gladiator.
That's fine. Go ahead. Tell us why.
Because I have more storage ability and I can add a lot more preparation survival type gear to it.
Okay. You've already lost, just so you know.
Nope. Go ahead.
At least in cool points.
do you, Scott, me or you?
Go ahead.
Deuce and a half. Multi-fuel, 6x6, deuce and a half. Jeff, your Gladiator, when there's no gasoline on the market and your electronics, the EMP takes it all out. You are SOL. Scott and I played this game already, homie.
All right, what do you got, Scott?
So who's gonna bust his bubble and say that's not a Jeep, and then we have to argue it is a Jeep?
It's a Jeep. Don't tell me that a deuce and a half isn't a Jeep. Don't tell me.
Well, Scott gets the final say on that one, whether it is a Jeep or not. But what's Scott going with?
So just because it's, I got to be a little bit weird. I don't remember the exact military destination of it because I just got too much stuff in my brain from this weekend. But the crew cab diesel FC would be my vehicle of choice.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what that.
I want to say it's like a
M170, M175,
something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a sweet one.
Same
Except
way.
for,
I know it is from the factory. It's a Perkins,
correct.
which that's not staying.
That's not staying. It says. That's not staying. So,
But we're gonna go with the same kind of theme that Neil is going for. Of fuel is not going to be as much of an issue. Electronics are not going to be an issue.
So I want to stop you there. Why do you think fuel won't be as much of an issue for a diesel?
well, because these things
we'll run on anything.
will run on anything.
Okay.
So, again, these engines, so the refinement process of diesel at that time, and certainly a multi-fuel, is arbitrary to today's standards. Anything as far as modern day engine platforms are, the refinement of the fuel has to be so good.
So, but for your specific purpose, where are you getting your fuel from? What are you?
Wherever I find it.
So Jeff, we actually had a friend. So it's a part of this is fun story. We actually had a friend, acquaintance. It was a friend of Scott's. He's like, he's a friend of mine. He actually built a doomsday vehicle.
Okay.
And we
know a
actually
couple doomsday
he did
vehicle
build a couple, right? And he was very intentional in his modifications, and this is what spurred our interest in it at the time, and are probably the one that stands out to us the most. And I'm speaking for Scott in this situation, but we expanded upon this a lot back in the day, was a Cummins Ram Charger where he used a 6BT and he could shove peanut oil, used motor oil,
transmission fluid.
That's pretty sweet.
And honestly, with little to no refinement process. And so the reality we know, certainly on the multi-fuel that the deuce and a half is, it doesn't give a flying fig. The Perkins might care a little bit more, but Scott's contention, he put a 4BT in there.
Yep.
For the exact same reason that our acquaintance had the 6BT.
That's the only part that makes it not so much fun is he already knows what I'm going to do.
Right. But
So
fuel and then rubber is in my opinion one of the biggest issues you run into with apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic vehicles.
I would agree. And I think when it comes to fuel, the reason I was okay going with the Gladiator is because I know how to siphon fuel. I know how fuel pumps and tanks work. I don't care if the service center works.
Sure.
I can get fuel.
I get that.
Jerry cans, all of that.
100%. That makes sense to us.
Gas just has a shelf life. That's all.
Gas has a shelf life.
but does
Whereas
It does.
Nah.
by
especially-
modern gas, well, unquestionably,
Absolutely.
modern gas, ethanol-rich modern gas, in my opinion, does.
But then you can rate any of the any stores with the octane boosters, whatever.
Literally,
you need.
did you guys? I sent you that reel over
That's
the
what I'm
weekend.
saying.
But the whole point was that was 2025 versus in the 90s or whatever, the early 2000s,
But-
and it was like. It was for the folks listening at home. It was a reel. It was this guy, and he was like putting fuel in your mower in the 90s, in the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
And it was like, I found this pick 'em up truck from the 60s, and I siphoned the fuel out of it, and you're going to take this fuel, and he was telling his tractor, and you're going to take this fuel, and you're going to like it, and you're going to run. And then it was like, same tractor, 2025, and it was like, well, I got you the special snowflake sprinkle fuel with the chocolate spice additive.
Yes. Please don't clog up on me.
Please don't clog up on me or corrode inside the carburetor. And it's just today's fuel is not made like yesterday.
But while you say that, I have absolutely just used fuel from 3 years ago in a tractor and in a modern tractor and made it run. No problem.
Same time though, first EMP strike, you're still sitting on the side of the road. Done.
You're smoked. And that's a mechanical diesel. In our opinion, is going to be far superior.
Mine isn't even going to have a shutdown solenoid on it.
See, and that's where, and I honestly don't know enough about the actual multi-fuel deuces. I think it's a total mechanical.
I'm pretty sure it is.
And so like my L7000 Cummins.
This doesn't have a lot of horsepower.
It has no horsepower.
I have a question on the EMP. You guys keep referencing that.
Yes.
But this is a Halloween edition zombie apocalypse.
Well, we have a
smart EMPs.
A smart scientist zombie that wants to
Jeff.
snack on some Jeff.
Okay, curveball. It's a zombie apocalypse in his opinion. Interesting.
The scientist zombie took you out.
The scientist zombie. Whatever.
Simple, get you home, man.
Yes, that is has always been the contention, is a multi-purpose platform of
Aren't you guys
apocalypse.
glad I gave you the option for an old Jeep?
Oh yeah. Well, because the other one is
I knew you would go with the Deuce.
no, you did not.
Absolutely. You talked about that.
I was surprised you didn't go like the 5-tonner.
You know what? Because the 5-tonner is less of a Jeep. You can make less argument of it being Jeep than, because I'll be honest, there's a 5-tonner for sale right now north of Pittsburgh, and I was like, how sick would that be? Man,
Talk about no creature comfort. So
no creature comfort.
Good,
but
Matt.
it showed up on a search when I was searching dump truck, and I thought it is technically a dump truck. It just happens to be a 5-ton 6.
Yeah, I've seen more 5-tonners be semi rigs with a fifth wheel plate on the back.
Yes. Yeah, there was also an Oshkosh that showed up in similar capacity. But that's
We're getting off
we're getting off the rails.
All right. So now
we've
we're
got
gonna
our
start,
base platforms.
Start building the Jeep. What mods are you putting on? We'll start with Scott this time and work back across.
So we're going to do a 4BT with the, I can't remember if it's supercharged or turbocharged. There was a special edition. It was turbocharged intercooled, since I can have anything. That's a very rare 4BT, but what the heck?
Yeah,
get as much horsepower as I can. We're going to put it for NV4500 behind it because all that stuff exists, and they share the same stuff as a 12 valve. We're going to lane it over 5 degrees so it doesn't shake my teeth out. That's a
you
secret.
referenced that.
It's
you
a secret.
referenced it.
We're
There it
gonna
is, folks. Tools in your toolbox, whether you heard it or not.
We got wheelbase for days, so we're going to do a 205, 203 doubler.
A doubler. You're going to rock crawl in your FC while you're
You don't know
escaping
what
the
you're going to
zombie?
need. So the more gears, the better.
He's not wrong.
Okay.
And I think they make a gear kit for the 203, but we'll leave the 205 alone. So that way I have a broader spread of gears. So I need low, I got it. If I don't, then I got it. I think we'll go with a simple 60 in the rear and a 60 in the front. Just kind of keep it simple, stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Dana crate axles, because, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Simple, easy. Probably go with a 456, 488 gear. And conservative tires, I'm thinking 35s. Again.
It fits under the FC well, right? Not too much, not a wacky center of gravity.
And I got bed for days.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much whatever prepping stuff I want to put in the bed, I can. Are we saying what we would have fit it for that kind of stuff as well? Or are we just doing the build of the vehicle?
Well, it's all defense, no weaponry. But yeah, for survivability and defense mods.
So for me, I would need some equipment I can like go into a cave or go into some sort of underground fortification is what I'd be looking for. So some sort of digging equipment, some sort of cloaking stuff. So I can
a cloaking device?
No, not cloaking. Not cloaking device.
He said cloaking device,
He
folks.
said cloaking device.
don't take me so literal. Some sort of way that I can kind of disappear.
Okay. And we're gonna come back.
He's gonna do like a camo cover over it.
Right. Yeah, like a ghillie net.
Yeah.
Well, I can dig that.
Yep.
So I am, and I feel like I should expand for people if they are unaware of what a deuce and a half is. So it's a 2.5 ton truck from the 60s, maybe even as early as the early 70s or into the 70s.
I mean, they've had deuce and a halves from World War II. The one flavor you're talking about
Correct.
is like a 68 to 72-ish.
Correct. And it is a 6x6. It actually has, there was an option to lock both rear differentials. Pretty gnarly. As far as a vehicle was concerned, if you are unfamiliar with this particular, it was made exclusively for the military. You saw it used just incredibly limited in what I might call civil service occupations. You could see them in the fire departments. There was a smattering of them offered to first responders, forestry.
I've seen tankers. There's been troop carriers. There's
Correct.
been a bunch of different options as far as bed is concerned.
It was meant to be a highly utilitarian kind of indestructible vehicle. Then and I think it was called the Hercules multi-fuel. It was a straight 6 engine, and it was able to theoretically be run on standard petroleum gasoline
Jet fuel?
Or diesel, right? So that's joking aside, that's what I was I am.
It's got a big
sharing.
truck transmission, if I remember right.
Right. Yep.
It's got a piece of cloth with a little bit of cushion in it on a flat,
as a
very
seat.
uncomfortable seat.
Yep.
Basic flat dash.
Yep. Yeah, super rudimentary, and limited to no electronic whatsoever. So with
Lots
that
of
said,
cables.
Lots of cable actuated stuff.
And I remember, I'm sure you remember this, the JP magazine, where the one guy bought one and he took it wheeling.
Yeah.
And he showed the rear suspension and showed it flexing it out and stuff. And they have these really cool leaf spring, but not rear suspension.
Absolutely. And it does not have a ton of articulation.
No.
Jeff's will articulate
Until
in a far superior
until the
fashion.
zombies get him.
He'll be able to just kind of bounce over top of the zombie bodies in his process. Since I will not be able to do that, I'm going with the standard V-blade cow catcher type of apparatus on the front, so that I can
running them over.
I'm just running them over, and I'm plowing the field while I'm in the process, right?
Not hiding that
They
thing.
came. No, I'm not hiding with anything. They came with many of these trucks came with like a gajillion ton hydraulically ran winch. I want to ensure that is on this truck, and I'm not looking for any fancy driveline modifications. It's slow and functional is my kind of contention, and so that's why.
And you have to have off the shelf stuff, and I'm not really sure what they have for off the shelf.
Well,
for
there's
that.
not much of anything off the shelf for that particular vehicle. I do want to maybe throw some minor plating by the tires. I don't want them to hack my tires. That would be the big. That would be the big downside. There's a lot of rubber exposed on that truck. Now, the good news is, while it's not particularly attractive, like in the cool factor, if you see a deuce and a half now, the original ones actually had all of the drive tires and the steer tires were all identical. So you had 8 drive tires and 2 steer in certain applications. And so you had 10 tires total. So, I mean, as you lose tires, you could interchange them.
And aren't they a weird size?
They
too?
are super weird size. Military NDT.
What's going to take Neil out is he has a weird lug pattern.
Yes.
He has a weird tire size. So he can't even find like an old semi depot and be stealing tires.
That is the downside.
He is stuck.
Yep.
I'm stuck to a military surplus. Okay.
If he was smart, he'd be doing like the airless tires, so that wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. I like the thought of those.
But they probably don't make them in his size.
Not exactly off the shelf, but if I had a modification, I want the augers from the new Twister movie.
Oh God.
So that you could just be stuck while the zombies attack you?
So I'm plating. Don't forget, I'm plating.
So you could be stuck while the zombies attack
And
you.
I want an enclosure. So the bed is massive.
Geogger Jeepers said off the shelf cow catcher.
Have you? I've said a V blade. I mean, I could do just a big snow plow.
But there's no
10-foot
fabric
V-blade.
cobbling.
If
They
you're
don't make-
putting an NV 4500
It bolts
in
together.
an FC, no, because quite frankly, an NV 4500 on a 4BT, you'd be shifting from the back seat. It has to be a crew cab because the folks in the back would have to be shifting it for you.
And
That's fair.
in his defense, I did say, if it's a mod that exists, we can assume that you can get it attached to the vehicle.
Okay, that's fine.
So, and that's where and I understand the capacity for the augers, does not help me with the zombies specifically.
He's prepared.
It doesn't even help you with a tornado. Come on, that movie was so fake with that regard.
So I'm looking for a kind of a camper style provision. So the bed on those is oftentimes like 10 or 12 feet. You can actually put a full size Jeep in the bed of one of those.
Is that where he's cheating? He's got a runaway Jeep on the bed.
So I've got a kind of a camper, so I can have all my cook gear inside. I can have when I go to sleep, the zombies aren't going to get me because your guys' bug out vehicles, you're going to be uncomfortable sleeping. I want, an actual provision steel box because they did sometimes have those, certainly some bigger applications. And that way you can't get in and get me while I am recharging my own batteries. And I can fit my family and I can do some minor cooking and whatnot. And then I've got a big open spot on the bed still. And then because they can tow anything, they actually used to have these big 10-foot trailers as well. And I'm pulling one of those with
more tires you can't get.
I'm looking for a road train to be heading down through the zombie apocalypse.
When the roads are blocked with vehicles that have been abandoned. Good luck.
Why do I have a V-blade?
While you're hauling a trailer full of more stuff?
With no hearse purrs.
I don't need hearse purrs. Have we not seen Killdozer? This is not a great reference, but an appropriate title as ever.
Charles literally said deuce and a half version of Killdozer.
Yes. Yes.
That's right.
It's a proven process.
No.
Proven that he got taken down. So anyways.
We don't need to get into Killdozer. But yes, there's now the other thing that Scott and I did talk about years ago was a nice nimble runabout like an MB or something civilian. Again, clean running 4-cylinder points because again, points don't care about electronics in the same capacity that electronic ignition does.
But we did say a Jeep build.
I didn't say that was on my road train. I'm just saying it could be on my road train. All right, Jeffrey, what modifications? What's your Gladiator?
Obviously, you're going to tons on the axles, doing the long arms, so you have the extra slinkiness, as we talked about. Steel bumpers front and
Nice
back.
ride quality while you're running away from the zombies.
Steel bumpers front and back, doing winch on the front, 12K synthetic, so you can tie it back together quickly if you need to. I'm with Scott on the 35 so that if I do need to change a tire, I can do it more efficiently than a 37 or bigger. Skidding the underside so that as I run over the zombies, they're not getting latched into too much.
They're going to get stuck between the diff cover and on both of our rigs.
But
you've got all the Fab Fours grumper grill and armor around the windshield.
Oh yeah, you've got the branch deflectors.
It's
Everything.
100% a grumper build at that point.
I am doing the zombie hunter light setup with lights all around, but I'm adding motion sensors, so
they
that
can find you easier.
Nope, nope. So that when I'm in my
Just put a McDonald's sign
rooftop
on
tent,
it.
A McDonald's. just put a McDonald's. Jeff would
Eat here.
Jeff would be McDonald's because he and folks who are listening at home. Jeff is for a grown freaking man. He looks like a child has been let loose with a $20 bill in a convenience store when he unpacks his lunch.
all I know is that I'll be able to survive on whatever foods I find.
You will
have to have a special diet.
I will have to have a special diet. Scott will be dead within the first day because he'll be off the side of the road, go in the bathroom, and they'll be biting his butt.
So, anyways, but I would have the bed rack with the rooftop tent, and that's why the motion lights would be there, so that while camping, if the lights activated, it would alert me, and I can get out of there quickly.
In the cloth tent.
Heck yeah! But it's set up higher, so at least they have to start climbing to it.
They gotta climb out of the cloth tent. They're already like ripping through the tent. And you're like, let me climb down my ladder.
Who said I have to climb down a ladder? I can jump.
Oh, he's got a fire pole because of his
Because it's him, it's a soft top Jeep on top of it.
right. He's got a soft top tee because he likes to feel the wind in his hair as he outruns the zombies.
Hey, you know what? If I can be faster and more nimble than both of your Jeeps.
I'm hiding out in my cave. I'm fine.
He's gone to a cave in North America.
He finds the root source of the zombies in this cave.
Drives into the cave and there's this glowing orb of goo or something.
Oh dear.
Zombified.
Nate said a larger RTT that overhangs the cab, and then you can enter and exit into the cab without going outside. So there you go.
Well, that's that's exactly how I feel my my camper bunkhouse would be.
Right.
And I'm struggling to think of what that's called. You know, that
A sleeper?
I guess it would be an attic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called an attic. Grandma's attic, I think, is what we used to call it on the moving trucks.
That's exactly what that would be. Yep.
And it's that forward design where you can drop down, you can come and go out of the cab of the vehicle pretty efficiently. And I'll give you that on the. I've seen some sick Gladiator builds with a little bit of an attic on them. So speaking of the character who did the Road Less Traveled is selling his. It can be yours for a cool like $150,000.
Additionally, for that though, I would also put the 392 in, so I have that extra power and speed.
So he's definitely screwed on fuel.
Absolutely.
He's definitely.
That's what all the jerry cans and all the extra fuel amenities are for.
We've gone 3 blocks. We need to refuel.
Yeah, but I would.
Spit all my water. I almost did a spit take on him.
But I went 3 blocks while you guys are
3
still
blocks.
trying to look at the zombies going, what do we do?
I'm just in first gear. All 6 of my
they're
tires.
all going after him with all the noises that thing's
That's
making.
fair.
I'm refueling and still going again before he's made it a block.
All right, so I'm going to make a case for why people want to be as I'm the driver, because I actually, little known secret, I actually pretty heavily played into the Doomsday Prepper movement, and Scott knows that in specifically 2012. I was ready. I was
For the Mayan
just
calendar.
I was just conscientious.
Yeah. You didn't have a bunker. You didn't have an armory.
I
It was
did
just thoughtful.
have. It was just subtle.
I'm going to stop you there.
And I think that's all I want to divulge.
and I'm going to point out, we're all millennials. We've all done that.
That's fine, Jeff. That's fine, Jeff. You can have that.
So-
I will subtly avail that I was Certainly not. I did not deserve to be on Doomsday Preppers, the TV show. Nope. But my subtle expectation for 2012 was that I was going to be unscathed, regardless of some type of divine interaction.
And my plan is not much different. In that era, I was like, I just need to get out in the woods and get away from everybody and leave me alone. I just went to a cave this time.
My case for myself is I've driven all over the country, so I know a lot of the routes really well. And as in your own words, like a cockroach, I just won't die.
Oh, you're using my words against me. I thought you were going to go with I was a first you were a first responder.
I was a first responder. I know how to adapt and overcome.
No.
I was a Lyft and Uber driver. In Pittsburgh, even with the bridges. There's no stopping me.
No, he uses the fact, and this is Jeff. Folks, if there's ever a person who was like a cockroach, in the fact that after the apocalypse, it'll be Twinkies, cockroaches, and Jeff. That is probably accurate. It just that's a tough one. Now the problem is, if any of our listeners, they would have to put up with you the whole time.
That is true. That is true.
That's fair.
But it says which one would you survive with, not which one would you want to put up with.
All those apocalyptic.
So the debate is who survives the longest, first of all. And obviously we both can agree that Scott's out.
Scott's a goner.
He doesn't survive the longest.
Scott's a goner. There's nothing you can do to tell me that you're not going to get eaten at a gas station while you're huffing and siphoning gas for that $3.92. There's just nothing you can tell me that you're not going to get eaten. I'm stuck on that. That $3.92 is thirsty and it's sensitive to the gas. I'm stuck on it.
And worst case is I have a lifter failure and you have to be taking the head off.
As a lifter failure, you're going to be servicing the lifters in the camshaft on the side of the road.
It's way worse on a Hemi than it is on a 3.6.
He's going to have to get 11 spark plugs.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget the 16 spark plugs.
Man, I still think I'll outlast you on that one.
Oh, Jeff will just be running. The cockroach will be running from him.
Because I would find ways to make it happen.
My Jeep is gone, but I shall survive.
So hear me out. So if I'm in a cave, I don't have to worry about a heat source because it stays at constant temperature.
What cave did you drive to?
Whatever I find.
He's going to find one with a grizzly bear. He'll survive the zombies because he dies by a bear attack.
I'm trying to think of any cave that...
But just think about it. It doesn't get too hot, doesn't get too cold.
There's no cave that he finds. He finds one and he ends up trying to split unk or whatever it's called, and he can't...
Well, he's trying to just find... He's finding magic spark plugs and gas.
He's just falling down a hole.
We're off the friggin' rails, folks. It happened. We knew it was going to happen. Anytime Jeff suggests these gameplay, oftentimes people reach out to me and they're like, "Man, I really learned this thing," or "This was impactful that you shared with us." That's not these. That's not these episodes.
This is not impactful at all.
No, I apologize.
But I am curious. We've got a bunch of listeners. I wonder what they think. Who they think they would survive the longest with.
What's Jeff likes? Oh, AI.
Yeah.
And Davey could have made some good.
I was going to say, I like AI, but Davey uses AI way more.
Charles says he just needs to get home. He'll be safe. Everything's better and better in Texas. I believe that.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And then Nate was saying, just build the Dead Reckoning from Land of the Dead.
Yeah, all of these, kind of apocalyptic, and we are as a society fascinated by that dystopian concept. So much so sometimes it feels like we're wishing it upon ourselves. But typically speaking, there is some form of this conversation and figuring out whether you want to follow Woody Harrelson or who's the actor from Ghostbusters who made his appearance in Zombieland. God, what's the
Oh, I know who you mean. I don't remember his name.
SNL character?
Yeah.
Just trying to think of what his can't think of
saw
what his name is. Super famous because he was in Zombieland and he was held up in his mansion. You have to kind of figure out what
Oh, Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Yeah. You have to kind of figure out what course of action you're going to take. Obviously, the being prepared to bug out is advantageous because unless you are Bill Murray held up in your mansion for
And able to absolutely pretend to be a zombie.
Right.
Till you get shot because you're pretending to be a zombie.
right.
Spoiler, sorry.
Or the Twisted Metal series that's
yeah.
out right now.
I love the Twisted Metal series.
Yes. Super fun. Whether you're running around in an ice cream truck or a Twinkie truck,
Yeah,
kind of surviving the zombie apocalypse. So,
But
that was fun.
That honestly, the fact that you brought that up about food and stuff, that is 100% why I would survive the longest out of this group. Without question.
Because Jeff is going to survive on Twinkies. Scott's dead.
I will survive on anything I find in a
He's
store
heading for
or
Hostess.
warehouse or homes, whatever.
He's going for the Hostess factory.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter. I'll survive on it.
It's part of your cockroach nature.
You would start to eat some of that stuff, and then you would be joining Scott in the bathroom while the zombies are attacking you guys together.
I would be good as long as I was, my clean diet was satisfactory, and then I would be done from there. Hey, Scott's wife chimed in that she's had in Scranton, PA. Apparently has some cool mines. Mm-hmm. Huh.
And then you got everybody yelling at us. It's Bill Murray. Bill bleeping Murray. That's funny. And then you got the storage caves in Missouri outside of KC. If
There
you
is
can get
actually
there.
Du Bois, Pennsylvania has
Yep.
a mountain you can go in. At least used to. There's salt mines.
But see, here's the thing. I would absolutely be able to make it all around the U.S. without GPS or without a map. Scott, I don't think. I think he would
I
struggle.
have my wife with me.
he has his wife.
Yeah.
That's he's banking on. All right, folks. Well, this is your opportunity. And we're gonna shut this down and transition over a little bit here. Your opportunity. Is that correct, Jeff? With reasonably speaking.
that's
This is your
it. Unless-
opportunity
unless they
to
wanna
weigh
chime
in.
in.
I'm satisfied enough. Just kind of ensuring that our rigs are satisfactory. Our cases have been made. Now it's time for people to weigh in. If you want to weigh in the live audience here, you're welcome to tell us which rig and which driver, and you can mix and match as you see fit. If you're so motivated listening at a later date, send us a cryptic message to email or our text only number 440-855-2100. And you can just kind of be like Scott in Jeff's Jeep. I don't know, something like that.
Jaga Jeeper said, I was going to say Scott, but I ain't dying for a Twinkie.
Scott cannot tolerate anything digestively. He can eat rice, folks, and maybe that's sometimes a little too spicy.
Charles said, y'all have a great week. This was a fun episode.
Excellent. And just as we were ensuring that our rigs would be prepared in the zombie Jeepocalypse Halloween style, it is your opportunity to make sure that if there is a snowpocalypse like we had just a few,
Don't
a
curse
year
at
ago,
us.
No.
if a few weeks from now, this time last year, a few weeks from now, there was a authentic snowpocalypse. And this is when good rubber to the ground and good 4x4 and making sure that you don't have the shakes and shimmies as the roads are slick and hard to traverse. This is a great time to get your crawl over scheduled. If you're unfamiliar about our crawl over services, it is a general health diagnostic. Roughly a 45 minute to an hour long inspection. It is a multi-page inspection with a half an hour or so consultation with you, where we'll actually point out, converse, share, and bring you over to the Jeep and kind of show you what we know and what we're seeing. With that said, we then can kind of do two things. One, we can give you an estimate of repair, or kind of give you our expectation that you can take and do the repair yourself. We understand that, the DIY market is valuable to the Jeep community, so that's what the crawlover exists. You're kind of paying for us to look at it in our critical eye, and for either us to repair or for you to take that information, take it back to your general service mechanic, take it to your Jeep club. You can do whatever with it and kind of pick away at it. Additionally, sometimes we'll mix and match. We'll give you some freebies that you can do and say, hey, this is something simple that you can do yourself at home. You don't have to, pay us unless you want to. And then we'll do the heavier lifting on the job. So this is your time to get those scheduled before the winter.
And Nate wanted to know about home calls for the crawlover service. We don't do home calls per se, but we do absolutely do the virtual remote in.
We do. And we actually do FaceTime, remote consultation for a number of reasons. And so whether it's buying a vehicle or kind of helping, troubleshoot or do some general look-see-loo diag, there's actually quite a bit of that we can do when scheduled appropriately and kind of working through our process. So if that is something that you are interested in, or you're going to go buy a Jeep, another Jeep, or you're trying to fix something you can't quite figure out, we do have pay for services where we try to meet Jeepers where they're at. All right. And we make sure somebody said mood gorming, and wanted to recognize that little
Fun play,
because that definitely gets said on air. I don't even know. I can't read the namesake.
Beans and Roots 9294.
Fantastic. And somebody said good morning as well. So
Cleveland Jeep guy.
excellent. Good morning to everybody.
I think we got all the comments in it. If we missed you, we're sorry.
100%.
Oh, what about demudding services? Because it's everywhere.
Heck no. I will not pull any punches. We actually charge an environmental fee when it is extra dirty, and we have to demud it ourselves to do any of the work.
What is it with great off-road parts comes great responsibility? That means cleaning.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Well, I had a lot of fun. We are with this topic, Jeffrey. Thank you so much for kind of prepping that and laying it out there. Nobody really wants to exactly weigh in, other than the fact that they don't.
It's because they all know that none of them are surviving with us.
That's fair.
And on that note, Jeep on.
Jeep on.
Jeep on.
That was good. It'd been a while since we kind of played a game or done something. I wanted to note that your socks are actually like orange as well. They're like a harvest color. Oh, I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Scooby-Doo socks.
How do you not know what Scooby-Doo is?
They're
Scooby's collar.
and the fur color.
And the fur color.
That is what they are. Look at you.
Yeah.
That was cute. That was
Well, that's a good lead in. I guess he has to go first now.
So, well, you already called me out for being shaven.
12.
Yeah. So
I am surprised how fast it kind of is filling back in.
it
was particularly
thank
horrible on Friday or Saturday.
You did a 2-minute jaw drop of stare and awe.
It was. I was not ready.
I asked Neil why we suddenly didn't adhere to labor laws for children.
child employment.
What's better is it was Friday morning before the day really got started. Greg, Scott, and I are talking. You walk in right into the group, grab some parts, walk away,
rush off.
And I look at Scott. I'm like, I wonder how long it's going to take him to notice. And then I purposely kept my back to you until he called you out for the labor laws.
Right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, all it was you turned and looked, and that's all it took. Like me looking at you, and that.
Yep.
I didn't exactly know what to say.
The baby face was in full effect.
So I mean, and I've got absolutely no room to speak.
Right.
I don't even know if I have a chin. Like, I know like my family has like a pronounced little, like a little chin, and I have not seen since my college football days. I've not seen a clean shaven face.
But all of that was because my wife and I were going to a Halloween party Friday night.
And you were full commit.
I went full commit because I was going as Fred Jones from the Scooby Gang.
He had a last name? Who knew that? Who knew that?
And then,
He went full in.
He did.
He juggled.
He had his research down. He knows his birthday. Knows he's a Pisces.
I mean, when you're a good leader. So, anyways, Kristen went
he's still banking on trying to get somebody to ride along with him in the apocalypse. This is what that is. He's still
That was exactly what that plug was.
That's still his plug.
So, anyways, Kristen went as Daphne, and then we went to this Halloween party, right? And we're there just hanging out, having a good time. And all of a sudden, two other people who we don't know show up as
And what are they dressed as, Jeff?
the rest of the Scooby gang. So we had Velma and we had Shaggy. And then because we needed a Scooby, they happened to have the skeleton dogs in the party area. So we moved one of the skeleton dogs over and we all took a group photo with the skeleton dog.
That was super fun, honestly.
So that was a good time. And then
I just can't believe that the glitch in the Matrix was another couple came as
the rest of the gang.
the rest of the game.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Ridiculous.
And then Kristen and Velma became best friends. So
Right? Exchanging information, everything.
Yeah.
How funny is that?
yeah, it was a good time. And then honestly, that was Friday night. And by the time we got home, we had kids at two different places, so we picked them up on the way home. Got home late. Saturday morning we work, and then I just rested most of the rest of the day Saturday because I was like, all right, I need to rest. But it was great. And then Sunday, well, I'll save for when Scott goes on because I was at Scott's all day Sunday. So
Okay. I will, I suppose I will jump in here and kind of round it out since you're going to bookend Jeffrey in that conversation. Again, as I've shared with everybody, my further 6 weeks, but also kind of just my authentic self. You know, a lot of people look in, certainly when it was, you know, even just a few years ago, at the business, and they were like, you know, how does a guy this age have this thing and blah, blah, blah. And I always tell people, like, I basically got interested in, you know, a couple things when I was 12 to 15, and I just never stopped, right? So like Jeeps, I just never stopped being interested. Lots of other people have lots of different interests, and they sell or divest everything and they start something else and blah, blah, blah. So it was football and Jeeps and family and, you know, motorsports in general. So my 6 weeks, but also kind of my return to authenticity is obviously football. And my kid kind of picked up on it on his own free will and accord. And so he's been the ball boy. So we ended up at a game that I have no association with just because my kid's being the ball boy at it. Friday night, late, real nice night, fireworks. Go figure, small town America at a fireworks show.
that's fun.
It was fun. It was super fun and good for this high school for doing that. Saturday, of course, that's late night. Then comes Saturday, which is my daughter in dance and a whole bunch of activities that she and my son then are involved in. And because I am going to be doing this kind of large scale trip where I'll be gone from my family for an extended period of time, I wanted to make sure I prioritize some of this Halloween activities with my daughter specifically, and we did some trunk or treat and some other stuff like that.
The specific reasons, because your son's going with you.
Because my son is going with me,
Right.
and I'm going to miss Halloween with my daughter, which is actually, as we've talked about before, kind of a big deal to me. I really love seeing the community come together, and this, you think about kind of this one night where we're all kind of like united in some capacity. Like nobody cares or knows anything about each other. Other
People
than
are
the fact-
behind the mask. Nobody knows who's actually under the mask. Nobody
and you're
cares
out
about
there
anything.
for a fun, like, to make kids happy and to make your community happy. And so we're, you know, like, that's just so cool to me. And I really enjoy trick-or-treating with my kids. Like, it's just this kind of higher level thing for me. And I'm not going to get to do that with my daughter. My son's kind of aged out. It's his interest in it has waned, is the best way to put it. And I'll be with him. And then my daughter had a cheer activity to attend in the evening as well. So very full day, right? You know, most people, so, you know, from this the morning I started, 5-6 a.m. and the running about and the project stuff. And I did manage to work on my house build this weekend and kind of facilitate some of that property stuff along. That wasn't Saturday, that was Sunday. But most people would have called that a good day, right? I can't even begin to tell you how many Jeep trips I took and how many times I stop in and out of the shop to get things and move Jeeps and do all that. That would have been good for the average people. But the Simpsons decided to come home after about 10 o'clock. We get home from said football game. And if I was to do something to make my life far more complicated and chaotic than it was just a few days ago, I did it. And I did it by obviously just flat out being married to my wife. In the sense that we went and we got a dog.
Oh.
Dog?
Well, Jeff, Scott,
I know that doesn't happen with you.
you know that doesn't happen with The Simpsons.
Right.
Doesn't happen
So in
with
the
the
middle of the
Tremontis
night-
So you
either.
got siblings.
So in the middle of the night, we decided to get 2 chocolate labs.
Oh, energy ones.
Energy animals.
Oh, yeah.
How young?
8 weeks.
So they want to chew on
Everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So with me about to take a cross-country trip with,
Makes perfect sense.
a full week of
I
SEMA
really
with
couldn't
the
see
whole-
how you could make your weekends more chaotic, but you absolutely 100% didn't just make it slightly more chaotic.
No,
You quadrupled that.
100%.
You blew it out of the water.
blew it out of the water.
Boy and
Blew-
girl again?
Girl.
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 Okay.
I like things in multiples. What can I say? So, yep, we, yeah. So we did that. We did a thing.
So what's their names?
Bonnie and Grace.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be honest with you. There is no supplementing diesel and camshaft. Bonbon and Gracie are that's a whole chapter from my wife and the kids. I love all things furry and animals. I'm not. I wasn't exactly 100% ready.
So how many animals are you up to now?
5.
5.
Yeah, I'm trying to compete with you.
I know. That's why I was
Yeah, I'm
asking.
trying to compete
we're
with
at
you.
8, so
Nope.
Yep.
So much nopage.
So that on top of
Scott,
so
you're not that far behind.
so then my
We have
wife and
3. We're okay.
we're big on
Three.
desensitization.
I
so,
was going to say, Greg actually might be ahead of you at this point.
yeah,
He is.
Yeah.
Because they have 3 cats and 2 dogs.
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're 5.
Yeah.
And all of our dog does at this point is sleep.
That's true. You don't actually have a dog. Greg's
Yeah.
kid over the weekend was like, your dog's broken.
Fair.
That's because he's got. I mean, they have a Dalmatian, and
Yeah.
that talk about energy. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean, I just Diesel and Cammy, Jennifer and I had such a great experience.
And your sister says you've all lost your minds because you have so much free time.
Yeah. Yeah. So my wife is convinced that these, they're labs. Dad was 120 plus pounds easily. And mom's, no joke. So there, my wife's convinced we've got she's got a purse dog at this point, as far as I can tell.
Nope. Not even close.
But
For a little while.
with our
Like a week.
our black labs, we threw them in the vehicle and we took them everywhere with us. So, we took them out over the weekend. We had them out at the house while we worked. And then this morning they took my kids to school, and
Nice.
we're riding the vehicle to the school today. So it's whatever. I don't know. I'm glutton for punishment.
Yes, you
It hasn't
are.
stopped me yet. So whatever.
I have no room to talk.
No, we're all dumb. All right, Scott.
So-
Speaking of dumb, what dumb thing did you do, Scott?
So Friday we had to go to the football game, which I normally do not go within
The
80
sports
miles
balls. I know.
of that.
I know.
But my
you
daughter
actually called it the right thing.
my daughter got chosen
He
for
was actually talking about football and the way the plays went and penalties and Greg and I were talking with him about this, and I'm just sitting there, wait, is this Scott?
Right?
I'm so confused.
So it was a get in the game by the Browns. They had worked with our district, and they chose 3 kids per school, which were 12 kids total, to get this award. And it was about attendance and about just generally being, good kid to get along with everyone. She has no behavior situations at all. Every time we go and talk to anyone there, she's like, oh, she's just a good soul, just so friendly and so good. And, if anyone needs something, a hug or a confidant or reassurance or something like that, Evie is there for that. So she got to be recognized by that, and that was pretty cool. You guys will laugh, but there was 2 times you could win tickets for 2 different games, and me and my wife were both like, please don't let us. Please.
Did you win both games?
No.
Oh,
We
man.
didn't win anything. We're like, yes.
Oh, I was going to say, you have friends who would be okay with going.
So that was pretty much Friday. Saturday, we worked here, and then I ran home and tried to stuff food in my mouth and get stuff prepared for our building activities on Sunday, but it stopped. I literally just shut the tractor off where it was, ran to the Jeep, came back to the shop. We did trick or treat here.
The business candy crawl.
Yep, for Konya. And and thank you for representing us. But also, let's toot Evie's horn a little bit more, because realistically, it's just Evie being adorable, handing
Absolutely.
out candy
And
to other kids.
she was going out and like trying to lure people in.
I mean, she's a little domestic diva when it comes to, like, she gets her stool and she's got her bucket and she took her
Everything
position.
had to be organized, or you had we used cups with candy in it. Everything was pretty much set up. So the person walked up, they got handed a cup and they moved on, but they had to be so many running. We had a few ducks as well. And then we had, if the kid was interested in a duck, we would give them a duck.
Yep.
But so she had to have a theme. We had career ducks. We had a Navy duck. We had
Nice.
okay.
I'm telling you, I mean, I saw Evie come bounding across the parking lot from where you parked and everything, and she was on her. Is it an ocelotto or is it a stitch?
Stitch.
I don't know what ocelotto is.
Axolotl?
Axolotl?
Yeah.
What?
Evie,
Go ahead. Tell me more, Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff.
It's a type of
Tell
lizard.
us. It's
That's
what?
fine. It's a type of lizard. But anyways,
Evie really loves those.
it was a Stitch costume.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a Stitch costume, and then I saw somebody else throughout the day, and I thought it was a Stitch costume as well, and I was corrected that it's an axolotl. And I have no flipping idea what that is, but maybe Jeff wants to share with us. Obviously, you know.
I do know.
Well, my daughter went and saw.
Oh, fair.
My daughter went and saw the new Leo and Stitch movie in theaters, and never since then, that's all she's talked about.
Well,
is
I saw her
Stitch.
bounding across the parking lot. I was like, we're in good hands. She's got this
Absolutely.
covered.
So all we had to do is mildly support her, and that was all good. We did have, we didn't get a lot of Jeepers for it. We did get a pretty cool Gladiator on 38s. So we were so astounded by that, I forgot to duck it. Mixed opportunity. I apologize. But he was in love with Johnny Five and just the shop in general. So that was pretty cool.
Excellent.
Went home, used more, all the lighting on the tractor, and hauled more boards and protected the end of the posts and all that stuff. Again, trying to get prepared for Sunday morning. Sunday, Greg shows up first thing with a van, War and Peace tool kit. We had a saw with a stand. We had, I don't even know, so many tools. So we threw those all in the back of my side-by-side named Clover, threw those out to the back, started looking at stuff, obviously.
Named a side-by-side?
I did. The tractor's Sage, so everything has to have a name. So anyway, so we went ahead and...
I didn't realize that you didn't know this.
I didn't.
They've got decals that have their names.
I love it. Browns are so cool. They're such cool people.
So things weren't quite prepared to Greg level. So I ran around.
That was a spit take. For those listening at home, there is water everywhere because Neil just spit water.
So I ran around trying to make things ready. And Jeffrey had the plans for the building.
You could get ready for the next 10 years and still wouldn't be Greg ready.
That's true.
I love that Scott rummaging around in the middle of the night with his tractor in the cold.
Absolutely.
So they said they told me between 8 and 9 is when we're going
I
to get
tried
started.
to get them to set a time, and neither one of them wanted to be who's on first.
Trying to drink water. This show.
So, anyways, Jeff had the plans, and he had everything kind of set up, and that was the first grievance. Well, where's Jeff? He's got the plans. I don't know what we're doing.
Hang on, I got to see what time you text me.
So I sent Jeff the appropriate Marco.
At between 8 and 9 is what I was told.
That's what you were told.
At 8:42, Marco,
8:40.
and I sent back a picture in Kingsville
And the
Polo.
a couple blocks from his house, maybe.
and appropriately Polo.
And I did say polo with it. Yes.
He knows what needed to be said. So then we had to make
I have water in my nose.
one run to the Home Depot and get steaks so we could put up
It wouldn't be a family fun
Absolutely.
activity if we didn't.
so we could set up batter boards so we could do appropriate measuring. The important part is we did get all corner posts set,
Yep.
including the two on the outside edge of the doors for the overhead doors. And it took everything because right about lunchish time is when Greg departed.
Yeah.
It took everything me, Amy, and Jeff had to set the back corner post and the back center two posts. So one wall is done.
Nice.
But
So
we talk
8
about
out
this,
of 24 posts are set where they need to be permanently.
but talk about just drugging through the grimace.
And
Nothing.
I'm gonna clarify and elaborate. Your lunchtime was 2:00.
Yes.
So
Jeff was hangry.
from 2 till 5.
Jeff was angry.
I was from 2 till 5 with time to eat.
Yeah.
So we ate lunch, which your wife made a fantastic beef stew. It was awesome. But we sat and ate lunch, and then we went back. We were only out there for a couple hours to do those last posts. We actually moved really quick.
But it felt like you were just
Like on a death
slogging
march.
through.
It was 5 o'clock, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. We'll see you guys.
The best part, though, is we were been using this really awesome. It goes on the edge of the post, had level
Multi-level, yeah.
thing on it.
Yeah, my post level. Yep.
It disappeared with Greg. So we go to set the last post. We're like, oh, where'd that go? We're wandering around. Do what I do. Where did Scott sit it down at?
Right.
Looking around. It's not there.
And I was like, I bet you that they accidentally packed it up when Greg was packing up.
Yes.
And so we're like, we'll make do with other levels.
Yeah, he's like, I don't have a level. I said, I
With
got
me.
you.
Yeah.
Right.
So I went and grabbed. I haven't used it a whole lot.
As always, the theme of building at Scott's is, oh, I have that at home.
Right. You.
Well, me, yes.
Right, you.
Or Greg in this case, both of us
Yes.
throughout the day. Oh, I have that at home.
So
Yes. And then you have to use something of Scott's, but it has to be 60 years old.
At least.
It has to be
Half the size that you would expect it to be.
half the size of
Hey, I
normal
think
today's
it is.
standards.
Or in this case, the level was 6 foot long versus just a little 2-inch level would have done the job.
well, I had a choice. I could go get the level I got with my Craftsman's Club toolbox as a teenager,
Oh, God.
or
This is why I'm not drinking anything more. The Craftsman Club level.
or my dad had a really nice quality level
It was.
in a case
Yeah.
because it was my dad.
Right.
He has his name, his phone number, and his address written on his level.
I want to.
course he died.
I want to
Fred, thank you.
elaborate a little bit. He's actually got a 10-pound sledge.
Uh-huh.
Literally, as I'm using it to drive stakes in for the batter boards, he goes, I think you have used that sledge more than it's been used in its entire lifetime.
It just always stood up behind the door at the garage.
Are sledgehammers supposed to do anything else? I thought they just stood in the corner.
Yeah.
I thought that's all you did with sledgehammers.
But anyway, which way we used my dad's level for the last 3 posts. Made me feel good that he was able to.
That he was contributing.
And we finally got those set. What a death march, though. My goodness.
My ribs hurt.
I was so tired by the end of the night and picking everything up.
Oh, that was a lot of physical.
And then my wife had to go rehome a plant with Jenny.
God. My God.
Literally, it was when she brought that up. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you later. I had nothing against that. It was just, I'm already beat. Good luck.
And here's your loose lips sink ships. I knew you had a dog before you said it because Jenny can't keep a secret.
When you said,
busted.
when you were like just one, I was like, that son of a gun knows. He knows. How does he know? That's how it is. The rumor mill spreads
never gonna
fast.
know.
I heard they got a new
He's
pup
gonna
as
know.
well.
What's that?
They got a new
did,
pup
yes.
as well. So.
Yes, they did. Oh, something in the air. All right, folks. I hope you had as much fun with this episode as we did. And if you didn't, don't tell us because we had a lot of fun. Don't ruin our buzz.
Yeah.
But we do want to have you ruin our buzz with who you would ride with for the apocalypse.
Jeff is just. He is just. I need to know. I need to be number
He's
one.
vested.
He is vested.
Very competitive. Another reason you should ride with me.
You will run them down.
I will. I don't care.
Oh my God! All right, folks. Well, look for coverage from SEMA, and we may or may not have something for you next Monday. It'll be a surprise. Probably not. I'm sorry. We just have so much going on. But until next time, Jeep on.
Jeep on.
Jeep on.